Welcome to the Vault Excel. Just waiting for the press conference to start. Thank you for your time. Happy Friday. Be safe this weekend. Stay hydrated. Waiting on the said information. Will Carlee Russell be charged for this kidnapping hoax she exacted a few weeks ago? WFLA will be my content source today. I'm not going to try to listen to very much of what he has to say because I'm really not trying to listen to other content today. I'm a little out of it today. But anyway, we're going to wait for the said information. Thank you for joining me. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining me. Probation, community service, fines, monies owed to law enforcement agencies, time in jail, prison. Class A misdemeanors each count. Jail time, 1 year for each count. Will she get jail time per count? Monies paid back to law enforcement. Fines. One rendering was $6,000. Monies owed to agencies. It's in the six figures, possibly $500,000. And what else will we learn about Miss Carlee Russell? Will we find out the truth to where she went? If she had help, she denies having help, exacted the crime alone, allegedly, says her attorney. But I believe she had help, either after the fact or during and after the fact, because she had to be able to maneuver around, and I doubt that she was on foot. We will wait for the said information. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ Big Angie, 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are welcome during this live. Thank you so much. We're just waiting on the said information. Thank you all so much for joining me. Got 12 in the house viewing. Amen. One in the chat. Very hot day here in Tennessee. Very hot day. Just waiting for this to upload information.
Expected to begin any moment here on WFLA.
That's my source I'm using today. I was trying to find another local network that was airing it. All right, we're about to start, everybody.
And we'll, of course, be listening in. What we're going to do is we're going to continue to take some questions and comments out of our people.
They're still running their mouth. All righty. Setting up the microphones now. She just left her attorney's office less than an hour ago. Guess to confer with him. Did the DA strike a deal with her? Give her a deal? I would not have. Because if you set a deal, it sends the message to others that they can also do it and get a slap on the wrist. This is not a child. We now have an 11-year-old in Florida who's exacted the same crime this week pertaining to an alleged friend. I did a live stream pertaining to that earlier this morning. And this is what you're going to have in the world. Copycats. People will call in saying someone's hurt, harmed, has a bomb, someone's been kidnapped, and it's not even true. And you're wasting resources that could be perfected on a real live human being that has been hurt or harmed or in a hostage situation, kidnapped, so on and so forth. And this thing called swatting is very disrespectful to the human spirit and to law enforcement. Because once again, there are real people who are harmed and they need the aid of law enforcement. And if you are one of these type of people that think that this is funny, that means there's something wrong with you. Seriously, seriously wrong with you. If you aid in a swatting plot to deceive law enforcement, it's shameful.
All good. Good. All right, 2-minute warning. 2 minutes. All right, there you hear.
All right, 2-minute warning, everybody. About to get started. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Vault XL. WFLA will be the source. I won't play much of their commentary after this presser is released by Hoover, because I will try to read some of your commentary and feedback, give my feedback per your questions and comments. Thank you for joining me. Will not try to hold you long today. I'm hoping this will not be a 40-minute, 1-hour presser about this food. I'm not really feeling the best today, so I kind of want to rest after this. It's very hot. I need to venture out, but it's very, very hot today. Just waiting. Let me see the time. Okay, it's 2:03 here, Eastern Standard Time, Tennessee. You're welcome, dear. Just the audio playing from the presser. If you need to go watch it where you can see the people actually talk, feel free to tune into another network. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Frank and Pam Bearfield Training Center. I'm Captain Keith Sescaliba with the Hoover Police Department, and we're here today to provide you with the latest update in the Carlee Russell investigation. Joining me at the podium today will be Police Chief Nick Durzis, followed by Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall. Chief Durzis will make a prepared statement. After Chief Durzis' statement is over with, Attorney General Marshall will also offer a few comments. Once that is completed, both gentlemen will return to the podium and you guys will have an opportunity to ask questions. With that, I will turn it over to Chief Durzis.
Thank you, Captain. Good afternoon. Earlier today, Hoover police detectives obtained warrants for the arrest of Carlee Russell through the Hoover Municipal Court for her actions related to faking her kidnapping and subsequently making false statements to detectives as they investigated this case. Her decisions that night created panic and alarm for the citizens of our city and even across the nation, as the concern grew that a kidnapper was on the loose using a small child as bait. Numerous law enforcement agencies, both local and federal, began working tirelessly not only to bring Carlee home to her family, but locate a kidnapper that we know now never existed. Many private citizens volunteered their time and energy into looking for a potential kidnapping victim that we know now was never in any danger. This story opened wounds for families whose loved ones really were victims of kidnappings, some of which even helped organize searches in hopes they could find Carlee's alive so that her family would not experience the pain and suffering that they felt when their loved ones never returned home. As we know, actions can have consequences, and that's why we're here today. This afternoon, Carlee Russell, with the assistance of her attorney, turned herself into the Hoover City Jail, where she was arrested for the following charges: false reporting to law enforcement authorities, Class A misdemeanor, $1,000 bond; falsely reporting an incident, a Class A misdemeanor with a $1,000 bond. Each of these charges carry up to a year in jail and potential fine of $6,000 upon conviction. Ms. Russell was released from jail after posting bond. We initially presented this case to District Attorney Lenise Washington, who agreed to handle prosecution through district court. After consulting with the Circuit Court of Jefferson County Bessemer Division, the case was referred back to municipal court for charging because the only applicable charges were misdemeanors. Judging from the amount of phone calls and emails that we've received from people all over the country, I know many are shocked and appalled that Ms. Russell is only being charged with 2 misdemeanors, despite all the panic and disruption her actions caused. Let me assure you, I too share the same frustration, but existing laws only allow the charges that were filed to be filed. I can tell you that I will be contacting our state legislatures on behalf of law enforcement in Montgomery and asking them to look at this law applied to these facts and urge them to add an enhancement to current legislation when somebody falsely reports kidnapping or another violent crime. Because of the attention this case has garnered, we've requested Attorney General Steve Marshall's office adopt this case, and they've agreed to do so. The Hoover Police Department wants to thank everyone that assisted us from the beginning and continues to assist us in this case as we work its way through the criminal justice system. Joining me at the podium today is State of Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall.
Thank you, Chief. Let me begin by commending Hoover Police Department Chief Durgis for his leadership in this investigation. Obviously, this captured many's attention as a result of not only the allegations themselves, but also the concern about a possible victim and being able to return her home. The work that was done by the Hoover Police Department was monumental in its lift, and the results of that work you are seeing come to fruition today with the charges that have been levied. I also want to commend the many other men and women of both state and federal law enforcement for their work collaboratively with the Hoover Police Department in assisting in this investigation. Chief, appreciate the opportunity to be able to partner with you in this prosecution. We will dedicate a team to be able to help the city of Hoover in handling these 2 individual charges and look forward to bringing this case to fruition. One thing I would add is that we don't see this as a victimless crime. There are significant hours spent, resources expended as a result of this investigation. And not only that, but the many men and women who are civilians that wore those yellow vests on a hot afternoon and evening looking for someone they thought was abducted, trying to be of assistance. We intend to fully prosecute this case and look forward to working with the Hoover Police Department moving forward. We also would tell you that we will continue to monitor this investigation to determine whether or not there are any additional charges that need to be brought, and we'll evaluate those as the facts are presented.
Okay, thank you. All right, this time we'll open the floor to questions. If you'll please raise your hand and identify yourself and your affiliation when called.
Yeah, David Lamb, CDS 42. This question for Mr. Attorney General. What is it about this case that made it rise to the level to where it was a case that you wanted to take on?
We handle cases across the state. We have jurisdiction throughout for both misdemeanors and felonies. And when Chief Durgis asked for our assistance, we were more than happy to be able to assist.
Is it common for you all to be involved in misdemeanors like a case like this?
It's not uncommon.
Keith Mims, WAGG 610, 100.1 FM, Summit Media. Chief, this question is for you.
Yes.
What time was Carlee arrested today with her attorney, and has she made bail?
She was processed in our facility within the past hour.
Do you expect any charges to be forthcoming with her parents, or is this just all on Carlee at this point?
So at this point, and again, I think anything is, all as the Attorney General said, their team will also be searching through our files, and we'll find out what they say. Carol
Robinson with AL.com. Have you, since we spoke last in the press conference, been able to retrace where she was during the 49 hours she was missing, and have you determined if she was with anyone else during that time?
We have not found anything out on either one of your two questions.
Right here.
Valerie Bell, ABC 3340 News. Has there been any decision about a possible civil suit against Carlee and or her family? Also, what impact would this have on Hoover Police Department filing a suit, have on the criminal case as well?
Yeah, we have not discussed that. Of course, we talked about the hours of overtime and all the significant resources that we used. And we'll certainly be talking to the Attorney General's office about possibly getting some of those funds returned to us.
Lisa Grant, WDTN 13. In an earlier press conference, you outlined some items she had taken from her employer. Any potential theft charges for that?
Those would have taken place in other jurisdictions. We would not have charges ourselves.
Ashley Robinson, WBRC. Chief, do you mind repeating those charges and fines one more time for us?
Sure. False reporting to law enforcement authorities, Class A misdemeanor with $1,000 bond. Falsely reporting an incident, a Class A misdemeanor with a $1,000 bond.
Chief, I know you mentioned this the last time we were together. Just wondering if you have any update on an idea of the cost that the Hoover Police Department expended in those 48, 49 hours Carlee Russell was missing. And one final question, do you at this point have any more information if Carlee Russell acted alone or anyone helped her?
Yeah, we have not finished, obviously, the 49 hours. We've been certainly busy since her return, so I still don't have a total on that. And we don't have any idea where Carlee Russell was 49 hours.
Right here.
Keith Mims, WAGG 610. Chief, let me ask you this. Going forward, there's been a lot of concern in the community as per young Black and brown females being reported missing. Would Hoover and other agencies have the same fervor going forward as they did with the case with Carlee Russell?
Absolutely. This, as I said initially, our focus was bringing Carlee home when she got home. And then our focus has been to find out if there was a kidnapping. We find out there's not. We work every case like all other law enforcement does. So I don't have any concern anywhere that would be an issue.
And can I echo what Chief said? I've been in law enforcement for 27 years.
Yes,
I've been in law enforcement throughout this state. I've never seen anybody interested in the color of your skin in investigating a criminal case. And I expect, regardless of your gender, your race, when that report is filed, that Alabama law enforcement is going to do its job.
Valerie Bell, ABC 3340. What was her emotional state when she arrived to the jail today, and is she seeking any help at this point in time?
I was not there, so I really can't tell you exactly, and I really don't know anything else.
All right, last question.
Ashley Robinson, WBRC. Chief, what are next steps after this? What is going to happen next?
Right now, the Attorney General's office attorneys will start dealing with our detectives and going through case files and preparing prosecution, I presume.
Thank you guys very much.
Will y'all be releasing a mugshot?
Yes, we will momentarily.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Breaking news on WFLA now. Here's JD Juno.
All right, that's the sad information thus far. Well, a mugshot will be released. That is what was the last question allowed. Warrants have been issued. She bonded out a little while ago. Local and federal authorities were involved in the search for Carlee Russell. He tells us that actions can have consequences. Their main focus for following through with the warrants and getting this this attorney general, to be involved in this case. She has been released from jail. They're Class A misdemeanors. She's got 2 counts, $6,000 in fines expected. Each count was $1,000 for a bond. That's totaling $2,000 for 2 counts. Each are misdemeanors. He's also going to be looking to talk to legislators pertaining to the Alabama law pertaining to this crime. So that means obviously the crime wasn't stiff enough in his opinion that he needs to go talk to the legislatures. Additional charges may come forward for Ms. Russell and anybody else who was involved in the crime. So far, they're still investigating and gathering information with the Attorney General. So we will see if there'll be more charges against Ms. Russell and any other person. Reporters asked questions about the the Attorney General being involved, and they're saying no, it's not uncommon for them to get involved in misdemeanor cases. It was also asked about any charges for anybody else, parents, and as you heard the gentleman say, they're searching files, and this Attorney General will get with them to look at the files to see if there will be anybody else involved and if charges will go forward. Where was she during the 49 hours? He has no idea. Civil suit brought forward. Talking to the Attorney General about that as well, to see about funds returned to the Hoover Police Department and other agencies that aided in the search for Ms. Russell. As far as the theft from the store, that is another jurisdiction. I would assume that's Birmingham. So we will wait to see if the owner of the business files any theft charges against Ms. Russell. And I'm also curious to what else it is that she stole from the business. Was it through CCTV footage? Something missing through the computer as far as items? How did they find out she stole the items? And then you have to ask yourself, if there was CCTV footage, a camera in the store, why would she risk being seen on camera? That's very strange to me. And no one's addressed that in commentary that I've heard pertaining to Carlee Russell. You work there, you know they have cameras in the business. Why would you steal knowing you would be on camera taking the items? It's very strange to me. Risky, unless she knew there were cameras and she just didn't give a damn. And perhaps that was her attitude a few weeks back. She didn't care about anything. Her only concern was exacting this crime and getting attention, because she had at that point said, I'm done with everybody. It's all about me. And maybe that's who she is. Was also asked about the race. Will this affect black race, black person calling in or crying? And this Attorney General lets you know that the investigators are going to do their job regardless of gender, race. Her state, when she turned herself in, he lets you know he was not there when she turned herself in. And the next stage, last question. He said they are preparing for prosecution. So that means there's no, I guess what we would call plea. I haven't heard that a plea was offered. They'll be going to court for these misdemeanors. And naturally, she will plead guilty because she's admitted to the hoax. So it shouldn't take up a lot of time in court wranglings. Although she does have an attorney representing her, will she have an attorney at the time of prosecution? Because we have learned from cases dealing with people, hiring an attorney, that who they hire at the time of the charges is not necessarily the person that represents them while going to trial or giving a plea whatsoever. So I don't know how she wants this to pan out. If she'll just go to court, let the judge read the charges, plead guilty to the charges that day, or will they put it off for other reasons? I don't know. It really shouldn't be no trial or nothing, because she's already admitted that she exacted the hoax. So there shouldn't be no trial. So when he said prosecution, that kind of threw me off, because I was like, well, she's already admitted to the hoax. So the only thing I can see is what they would consider a bench trial. She goes to the judge. He reads the charges. He asks her, how does she plead? She gives her plea, and then asks to have everything done that day. That's what I would do. I wouldn't ask for another day, another week. Hey, we need to come back. No, sir, give me my time right now. Because one, she doesn't own anything. She doesn't own a home. She doesn't own a business. She doesn't have children. She doesn't have anything to contend to where she had to wrap up anything and tidy up loose ends. Give me my time, my punishment right now, and let me be done with it. That's why I said this was ridiculous to even exact this hoax in the first place, because, well, what was the point? You now have a criminal record, even though the counts are misdemeanors, the charges, it's still a trust. They're counts on trust, pertaining to trust. No one's ever going to trust you to work for them. No one's ever going to trust really dealing with you because they don't know who they're talking to. Now, down the road, naturally, this story will die down like most stories, but she still has to walk around and live. And while everybody else is doing their thing, 5 days from now, 5 months from now, Carlee Russell has to walk around and navigate on earth with this hanging over her head. But that was her choice, because she didn't have to steal from the store. She didn't have to exact this crime. All this, to me, is ridiculous and unnecessary. She could have been out here living a decent life for a 26-year-old. She had the world ahead of her, going to school. She already has a psychology degree, allegedly. So I don't understand a person having a degree in one field, trying to attain another degree in another field, and this is all you could think to do in your spare damn time. Because even if you failed the course in the nursing program, I don't know which year she was in, you still have a psychology degree, allegedly. So what is your problem? I just don't understand any of this. It's ridiculous to me. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think paying back money and fines are going to do anything or teach her a lesson. Well, Teresa, it doesn't really matter if she ever learns anything. That's all on Carlee. But the monies need to be paid to the agencies. That's just a given. They need to recoup something back. They wasted valuable time. As someone said, did it ever occur to anybody that somebody else is missing from Hoover, Alabama, the general demographic, and they put aside their cases to focus on her? And that's something many people don't talk about. Or the other people that they possibly were looking for. Could have been actually a child missing, or grandma missing, or uncle missing. But we put all that on the back burner to focus on her. We got other agents, detectives, law officials out there looking for a nobody, a child, and this crazy ass female here. So in the end, it's like any crime. It doesn't matter if she learns a lesson or not. That's on her. But rightfully, she needs to pay back monies to the agencies. Now, I don't know how much they're going to charge her, if they're going to file civil suits or however they do that in court to recoup their monies back. As far as the the Crime Stoppers money, I'm assuming they will possibly give that money back to the said people. They're just waiting for law officials to wrap up the investigation, I hope, before they return monies. I think some of that money may have been returned to people, but we will see. As far as the GoFundMe, the parents deny having any dealings with that or asking for any monies with strings attached, as they said. And I'm assuming GoFundMe, once they realized law enforcement did not think that this was factual information, they probably put a hold on any monies being retrieved out of the GoFundMe. I'm not sure, because if 60 was raised before there was any, negativity shed on the case, then the parents or whomever would have had access to the money. So that's the question of the hour as well. Do they have that $60,000, 60 plus thousand? Because in the beginning, I'm assuming that money was raised before police even gave a statement that they did not verify, because the statement didn't come until last week. The money, I'm assuming, was raised before that. If the parents will speak again publicly, well, a lot of us are curious. I do not know. Someone's on this channel asking, WFLA, mental issue, a cry for help. Do you all think this is a cry for help, that there's really something mentally wrong with her? That would be a question I put on my community board. I'll ask that. Matter of fact, I'll post it now. She will probably have to pay restitution and be put on 1 year probation since she only has misdemeanors. Well, I think due to the fact that the Attorney General got involved, I think the probation might be longer. Because as they said, it's not uncommon for the Attorney General to get involved in misdemeanor cases. But this, to me, is what you would consider a severe misdemeanor case. And I think the stipulations for probation would be much steeper than 1 year. It should be more than 1 year. This is a special case. This isn't somebody sprayed graffiti on the wall. Police came and asked you a question. People lie all the time when they talk to law enforcement, and they don't ever go to jail. I mean, think about how many times people have lied to law enforcement about a case, something they saw, and just calling and making up stuff in general. People call and make up stuff about people all the time. You have a neighbor dispute or a coworker dispute, or people calling all the time and make up stuff. He stole my lawnmower, or he threw this at my car. And half of the time, some of that stuff probably isn't even true. That's why we have CCTV footage to verify. Yes, that is him, her, doing that right there. But do you think this woman has a mental problem? Diagnosed, undiagnosed. There's something wrong with her. Possibly there's always been something wrong, and nobody has paid attention to her little problem. But then we know in life that people do pay attention, but what can you do about it? Because in the end, she is an adult. She's now a 26-year-old adult. So anything she does is on her. Ramifications, she got to pay the piper. The only good thing about the story is that she possibly still has family support. But think about the people out here who go and do all type of crazy nonsense mischief. They don't have people rallying in their corner, supporting them, bonding them out. Let's talk about that. Who paid the bond? Cash bail, I'm sure. $2,000 for each count. Her parents. Who paid the lawyer? Her parents. And what will be even more jacked up is if you all find out, listen carefully now, they did get the money from the GoFundMe, and they're using that money to pay her damn cash bonds and for her lawyer. Shut your mouth. That will be my next live. Because money was raised before anything negative was said from the police department. And I'm assuming that when money is being raised, you can take money out the account as you see fit. I don't know. I don't know how that goes because I've never officiated a GoFundMe. But I'm assuming you set it up, you could be able to take the money out when you see fit, how you see fit, unless the GoFundMe organization has a stipulation on how you can withdraw the money, what type of increments you can withdraw, and how often, I do not know. Ann says, I don't think it was a cry for help. I feel she wanted attention, but the attention she got was not from who she wanted from, ex-boyfriend. Okay. D says, I don't think the parents had anything to do with her leaving. Maybe her coming home in some way or trying to keep her protected after they themselves knew the truth. Mom and dad paid. What do you mean, Teresa? The alleged child should make all the difference, though. Martha, I don't understand what you're saying. Look at this question on their channel. Why are people concerned with her natural hair? I don't know. That's an interesting question. I haven't heard anybody talking about her hair. We just know that she had a wig on. Well, if that's the picture of her smiling with her hair looking kind of rough, I don't know. I don't know where that picture came from. Because she seems to be always dolled up. So I'm wondering that photograph that they have of her with her hair pulled back, like she's had her hair braided, if that was her after making it back home, after her alleged ordeal. GoFundMe, you can take the money out whenever you want. Okay, thank you. Okay. This wasn't a cry for help, just to get her boyfriend's attention solely on her. Like you said, mom and dad paid for her bond and her lawyer fees and stuff. Yeah, and that's something that people need to focus on is what if that's from the GoFundMe money? Because we heard the parents say we didn't orchestrate the GoFundMe. We didn't start it and we didn't ask for money and we're not asking for anything with strings attached. But that does not mean that they did not receive any monies from other people, church. See, you got to look beyond what you hear on the news. You don't know who's put an envelope in their hand, put an envelope in the mailbox, put money in their bank account, brought a personal donation to the door. And if they actually got payout total, the whole amount from the GoFundMe. Because as someone in the chat says, you can get it out as you want, then you can go do what you want with the money. Such as with Papini. Sherry Papini, when her husband got the money, or they both got the money from the California Victims Fund, you can do whatever you want with the money. Just like any kind of money you get from your job, the lottery, whatever. Once you get the money, it is yours. You can do what you want with it. So you want to go pay your credit card bills, you want to pay your car loan off, you want to pay money on your house, whatever, that's your business. But the state of California said, oh, we want that money back from the Victims Compensation Fund. So Papini and her husband have to pay back that, I think it was $40,000 the state of California gave, which is very kind for a state to have a fund for you if you have been victimized in a violent crime. And think about how many people are victimized every day. You don't find the state and cities giving you money because somebody robbed you, stabbed you, sexually assaulted you. So that's very kind. But California also has a high volume of violent crimes. For those who did not know that, it's one of the biggest states in the union. So that's expected to have more violent crime, children crime, kidnappings, hoaxes as well. And Sherry Papini is one of those said people. Very interesting information. It was said that people gave them cash. People donated to the golf fund. Me and people also gave them gift cards. Me and people also. You gave gift cards, Teresa? You sent them a gift card? Where'd you send it to? Her address? Honey, I need to drop the link and let you hit the link. What are you talking about? I feel bad for the parents of real victims that reached out to try to comfort her. Help her and her family must feel like a slap in the face when they learn it was a hoax. Yes, Angela Harris and her ex-husband are prime examples. Their child was violently kidnapped a few years ago in the state of Alabama. Miss Anaya was at a gas station shopping. And obviously when she came out of there, she was confronted by Mr. Yazid. He's now currently in jail facing charges of kidnapping, assault, and murder of Anaya Blanchard. He's yet to go to trial. And the Anaya law stipulates no criminal released on bond if they have been charged with a violent crime. And naturally, if you have other crimes you've committed, you should not get a bond. And Mr. Yazid is one of those people. He was in the system before kidnapping and murdering Anaya Blanchard. Many months before, he held a man hostage and his friend from a hotel, put them in a car and drove down the interstate with them in the car. He and his cohorts beat the elderly man damn near to death. And luckily, some great citizen called Highway Patrol, and Highway Patrol stopped them because the car was driving erratically. And that's when they found the man hanging on to life inside of the car with the cohorts, Mr. Yazid and some of his pals. And sickly, an Alabama judge, a black lady, let him out. And before that, he had committed a crime, I believe, in the state of Missouri, running from the police, high on marijuana or whatever. See, bond after bond after bond after bond. Now the girl's dead. This has to stop. Giving people bonds when they've committed atrocious crimes. But see, that's the system. They're greedy. The courts are greedy. They need money. What do you think runs the courthouse, the city county building? Money. And you committing crime, breaking the laws. Business, got to open a business, need a license, need this. All that money that goes to the court for whatever reason, marriage certificates, licenses, blah, blah, blah. That's what keeps the court open. You don't keep your yard clean, house clean. Fines, fines, fines. That's what keeps the court open. She did all this only to mess up her name and career. Yes, exactly. No, I didn't send no gift card. Other people was giving them gift cards. Oh, okay. I thought you said you had sent them something. Oh, GoFundMe, not GoFundMe. Oh, that's fine. No criminal released on bond if they committed a violent crime. Should have always been that way. Yes, that's the point. That's why we have the crimes we have today. A lot of crimes are committed by repeat offenders. America has the highest rate of recidivism in this country. That is a known fact, proven fact. I don't believe nobody made that up. Because when you look at people get on the news, first thing they'll say is, oh, here's his record. Here's her record. She's did this before, this before. They just got out on bond. They just got released on pre-trial release. It's always something, something, something. He did this 5 months ago, 2 months ago, 2 days ago. You see this with people who sell drugs. They get caught with drugs, get arrested, bond out, make the bond, get out. Then next thing you know, they catch another charge, another drug charge or something else. A man commits assault, violent assault, whether it be rape or something else. Next thing you know, he gets bond, he's out, boom, he's done something else. Same type of crime or something else because they don't want to change. That's the point. Well, she possibly was spoiled because this is a self-entitlement type of crime as well. I did it because I could, which most crimes are, sociopathic in behavior, self-entitlement. I believe she's lied before. I believe she is a liar because, as I said, you don't wake up at 25, 26 lying, especially to this magnitude. I do believe she's lied before. I believe she's possibly been in trouble before. Maybe nothing major as this, but she's gotten herself in pickles and she's lied her way out. And people either knew she lied or gave her a pass or she didn't have any stiff penalties for lying. Terrible things can happen to you for lying. Because we do have people who are just as crazy as her. Instead, they lash out by hand. Physical violence. Oh, you stole from me. They beat you up. You lied to me. They beat you up. So that's why I said she needs to get it together because she's going to cross the wrong person. And if she still has these same jacked up ways, she may be a news story in the worst way. Not a faux kidnapping, but somebody's found her dead. And I wouldn't fool with her. That guy who was dating her, best thing for him to do is keep it moving. Don't contact her. Don't stay in contact with her. Don't deal with her. Keep it moving. Because she is dangerous. Because my thing is, if you will lie about a child and a man and a woman in a kidnapping that never took place, you are capable of much worse. And that's what people need to understand about a person who can lie to this magnitude. That person is capable of way more than just lying. Because as you heard this man speaking in this commentary at this press conference, they do not know where she is. And I find that very interesting. Weeks have gone by and you do not know where she was. For 49 hours. I want you to think about that. You have no idea, with all the nosy Parkers and nosy Karens, doorbell cameras, security cameras on businesses, inside of businesses, your trail stops cold at the highway. I want you to think about that for just a second. It was orchestrated to where she had to have known that where she got in the car or where she went, there weren't no cameras. So she's had to role play and play this out on foot before. Gotcha. Stay woke. If they don't come up with where she was for 49 hours, that is going to make me lead me to believe Carlee did a drive run. And they'll also put that up on my community board. I think she's spoiled to a certain extent because, in my opinion, I think that mom and daddy bails her out of everything. Yes, I believe she's been in trouble before. Like I said, maybe not nothing major or heinous, but she may have had some other theft charges. We don't know. Maybe she stole when she was underage, because naturally those records would be sealed. I don't know. Yeah, she put some thought into this. That's why I said, could it be that she's done a drive run? I'm going to go to my community page now and put up 2 new polls pertaining to this farce. One second. Let's see. I forgot the question I was going to ask. Well, should she get jail time? I probably asked that question already before. Carlee Russell has been charged, bailed out of jail. Should she get jail time? You're going to only have 2 options, yes or no. Then I'm going to put, did she do a dry run? All righty. Yes. No. Then I'll go ahead and put not sure for some of you who are undecided. Do you believe she was alone for those 2 days? Possibly not. No. No. That's what's strange. With all this surveillance, you don't see anyone on the highway. Where was she, and why don't they have something to show where she was? And where is this red roof rumor coming from? Who brought that up? And what is the truth and validity to the red roof allegation that they went and met her there? Because if they met her there, her parents, then that means she didn't walk on foot to the house. That makes no sense. So I'd like to know where that red roof rumor came from. I'm going to also put that on my community poll too. What is the truth? Now I'm going to put validity. Too many questions you can add. Please go to my community board, take the polls. All right, truth. Rumor. Then I'll put this not sure for those who are not sure. All right, everybody. Hello, Jenny. How are you? She had to plan where she was going to be at while she was gone. I wish the police could force her to say. Yeah, well, they can't. That's the thing. That's what I said about lying. People lie to the police all the time. They don't go to jail because they lied. That's why she got these charges, because of resources wasted, filing a fake report. That's a crime, filing a fake report. Those are her charges. It was dumb to come back home with money in her sock. This is what happens when you commit a crime. 50 ways to commit the crime. A crime, let's say. Just a crime in general. But 100 ways to get caught. That's the whole thing. Let's just say she did a dry run. She went over to this place, found this place, realized there are no cameras, then surveyed the area to make sure it didn't have any cameras in that general area on the other side of that interstate. And then she followed through on this fateful day. Okay? But she still messed up by using her phone to search taken. Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert? That's another thing I wanted to address again. This shows you how dumb she is. You don't know that you don't pay for an Amber Alert. And an Amber Alert is for children, not adults. But this is what happens when you're not smart and you don't plan things carefully. So she didn't plan it out carefully. She didn't think about the camera on the interstate. She didn't think about the camera at the job, the camera at the other stores where she went and bought food. Okay? Somebody had to see her walk down the street on doorbell cameras to her house. But I'd like to know where she was. Good to see you too, dear. I wouldn't have camped in the woods by myself. I don't think she did either. No. That's why she took the road. So what you need to ask yourself, did she have clothes or anything lying in the woods at the time? Thank you, Jenny. Did she have clothes lying in the wood, a backpack, snap pack, already waiting there? That's why I said, did she do a dry run? She's already been over there looking, lurking, looking at surveillance cameras, looking to see if they got cameras. Went and already pre-packed the bag, decided to steal something on her way out from the job. I ain't coming back to this job no way, so I don't give a damn. Was that also her intent? I ain't coming back to this job. I don't want this job. I'm going to steal something while I exact this hoax. See, you really don't know the extent of how jacked up this girl's mind is. But you know that she's jacked up. Because I really try not to focus on the details only because she's a liar. And you can bang your head 1,000 different ways against a wall trying to figure out the why she stole this, did this. But if you want to just be meticulous and trying to dissect every little thing, your head will spin. So I'm going to ask again, did she do a dry run? She already went through the woods, drove over there, cased everything out. Did she go pack a bag and put it over there for her 2 days away? You want me to believe she stayed in the same clothes and underwear without a wig? No toothbrush. Where did she go that she would stay for 2 days without bathing, no hygiene products, in the sweltering heat? Alabama gets very hot. All the southern states do. Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, okay? Louisiana, Texas, stay woke, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina. We get scorching hot. So if she stayed outside for 49 hours, she would have looked a hot-ass mess, okay? I think someone was waiting for her and took her somewhere. Maybe they were waiting for her in the woods and walked with her and took her somewhere. That's my thinking. So you think somebody waited in the woods and walked with her. Well, I'm not going to walk with you nowhere in no hot-ass heat. And Alabama heat is hot even at night. Martha says, yes, she did a dry run and somebody was waiting for her. Of course. So she did have help. Because there's no way I believe that trail or that woods is right there near her house. That still doesn't explain where she was. What if you all find out she was at home the whole time? Bingo card. Shut up, Queen. You weren't prepared for that, were you? You see, when people do stupid stuff like this, you have time to sit and dissect every little thing. Because there's always going to be something that you overlook. As this one guy says, Dynamic Reason, he has a YouTube channel. Please check out his content. He finds the parents' behavior strange when they did the interview in the bedroom. Why they didn't think to call 911 when she first called to say she saw a toddler on the highway? Exactly. You don't know what's out there on the highway. You don't know what she's going to confront. So why not call 911? Hey, my baby just called and the line went dead. Please get over to such and such street. We'll meet you over there. Very interesting information. Your child is talking to somebody on the line and it goes dead. You hear scuffling and you don't call 911. You just go immediately over there. And as he said, the police shows up over there, of course, because she's already called 911. So they already got the notion to go over there because she's already called. Now she's calling other people. She's calling everybody so they can come get that damn car off the road. Y'all better stay woke. See, the information was nefarious from the jump. What do I always tell you about a story if you want to know the truth? Start at the beginning. Always listen to the details. So she was handing you crumbs at the beginning of the story when she parked the Mercedes and left it there and called somebody to let them know, oh, I'm getting out, or I'm over here looking at the baby and blah, blah, blah. Then we found out she was driving the whole time while she was making the 911 call. But then you have to think about it. You had to have been driving fast. Who drives 20, 30 miles in the fast lane or the slow lane on the highway? Nobody, unless they don't know how to drive. That's why they keep going on and on about the football field and the yardage of her driving, and the child couldn't have been moving that fast. Because you would have already bypassed the child at 60 miles an hour. So she was plotting when she was calling. Driving slow where she can get there, park the car, throw the stuff out, then run in the woods, and then whoever's there pick her up. Or maybe she walked so far somewhere and jumped in the car with somebody, but somebody had to help her. And it's going to be a shame if we find out one of her friends helped her, the boyfriend helped her, or her parents helped her. But in order to make it real, she had to be seen walking, looking disheveled back to the house. Because remember, the shirt was torn. And I do believe they said she didn't have shoes on. So I got to make it look right. Carlee Russell charged with filing a false report. It's kidnapping hoax. Two charges. Filing a false report, filing an incident, fake incident. Released from jail, $1,000 bail for each count. That's $2,000. $6,000 in fines, allegedly. We will see. It's very interesting. Quite interesting, to be exact. Go to my community page and take the said post. I have the questions up there for your discretion. 6 votes so far on this question. What is the validity to the red roof rumor pertaining to Carlee Russell? 33% truth, 33% rumor, not sure, 33%. Did Carlee Russell do a dry run before exacting this hoax? Yes, 57%. No, 29%. 14% not sure, 7 votes. Carlee Russell has been charged, bailed out of jail. Should she get jail time? Yes, 86%. No, 14%, 7 votes. All righty. Now, 11-year-old has exacted a fake crime. They're now showing her, before I get into that, on the WFLA, they're releasing her mugshot. It's on now. Nice picture of her. Natural hair. Yes, it looks like it's long. She's got it parted to the side. Looks like a schoolgirl in the photograph in her mugshot. Was it worth it, Carlee Russell? Let me talk to you for a second. Was it worth it? Now, somebody looks at this mugshot, they wouldn't think this is a 26-year-old woman who just exacted a hoax about a toddler and a man and a woman kidnapping her. They look at that picture and say, oh, that's a nice-looking girl in that picture. And you can see she has a head full of hair. It's long. It's past the shoulder. Black. Nice picture. No eyelashes. No makeup. But you're looking at a con artist in this mugshot. That's the scary part of the story. And there's no telling what she's capable of. They got this black thing around her like a turtleneck shirt, which I don't understand the purpose of that for a mugshot. You all dress your inmates in black down there in Alabama? Strange. Very odd. Something they put around the neck, I guess. I don't know. Let's take a few people to join us. See if we can get to the gist of this. If you need to go back and hear my commentary pertaining to this live stream, go back to the beginning of this live when you hear the information from the Hoover Police Department, and I go over the questions asked from the reporters to law officials. Once again, 2 Class A misdemeanors, each at $1,000 bond, $6,000 in fines. They're still investigating this case. They do not know where she was for 49 hours. Do not know if anybody else will be charged, but the Attorney General is involved in this case, and he will be making the decisions as far as others involved, charging anybody else, charging her with additional charges if found, civil suits from law officials to recoup monies back. And he's going to legislators to see about getting that law change pertaining to these ramifications of the counts. Stiffer punishments, rather. Did she have help? I'm thinking the sister-in-law picked her up, took her back home, then 48 hours under the cover, daughters decided to leave, then walk first and run screaming when she got close to home to throw people off. She has definitely been manipulating people for a while. Thank you, Teresa. In my opinion, she should get jail time, have to pay back everyone that took time out to care about her. Consequences for stupidity. Real. Yes, indeed. Because if you don't punish her with long probation, fines, monies paid back to the agencies, community service as well, jail, probation, somebody else will do the same. And the first thing they'll say is, well, she didn't get a lot of time. All she paid was $2,000 to get out of jail. That's it. That's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough at all. One second. One hour into this live stream. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to drop the link briefly. Someone wants to join the Queen and give their personal opinion. Please give your opinion pertaining to this information only. Thank you. She's a beautiful girl. When you look at her, you wouldn't think she would do something like that. That's the point of me saying. When you look at the mugshot, she looks like a young girl. She doesn't even look 26 years of age. She looks young in this photograph. That's why I said she had a whole life ahead of her. She wasted her time in doing this. But guess what's going to happen? She's going to do like everybody else that's ever gone to jail, got out of jail, whatever. She's going to go do what other people do. She's going to go live. She's going to go out to eat. She's going to go to the movies. She's going to go to the bar. She's still going to do what other people do, because people don't stop living because they have a criminal record or been accused of a crime, convicted of a crime. I think you know this from watching true crime. They live on. They date. They have sex. They make babies. Next time you hear from Carlee Russell, she's going to be knocked up by somebody. Stay woke. Queen knows about these types of things. I've been watching true crime a mighty long time. I've lived around crazy people, so I know how they navigate. Don't get it twisted because she's ruined her life. She's going to continue to do stupid shit, and I'm telling you, she'll be pregnant before December. She'll have a boyfriend, and then he'll be out here telling all her sex business, because that's what those dirty dogs do. They test a lie, as we say in the street. They test a lie. So you're going to be hearing more about Carlee. You won't probably hear it on the news, but you'll hear it through social media. There'll be people telling her business, talking about her, telling you everything she had on at the new Target, the old Target, the Walmarts. As Granny them say, the Walmarts, the Kmarts. She was in there. She had a buggy full of this and that, and who she feeding, and it'll always be something. It'll always be something. She's on radar now, and she has nobody to blame but herself. She put herself in the situation. It's on her. One second. Trying to get this situated here. Somebody says no remorse. So now somebody's looked at her photograph and says they don't see remorse in her mugshot. Does she have remorse? I don't know. I could say at the beginning, no, because she's carrying a lie. But we know that people can change their attitude and disposition thereafter. Because in the end, you don't know her. We don't know her. We don't know her motivation behind the crime, if it was because of this guy, if it was because she was having family issues, job issues, failing a course. Do not know the validity of that. If she actually failed a course in school. Those all have been just rumors. I'd like to get a receipt to the Red Roof Inn rumor and the school rumor that she failed a nursing course. That's what I want to know. Because I know that desperate people do desperate things. And when people feel as if their back is against the wall, they lash out. So when people fail courses, fail schoolwork, they don't want to be embarrassed, they don't want to be thought of as a failure, they will go exact crazy type bullshit, such as shoot up a classroom, shoot up a eatery. Because we've seen this happen with people in universities. They go shoot up places when they failed a course. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now that's the far reach of craziness. Damn, I fucked up. I failed this course. I can't let people know, my parents know I failed. I've gone all these years getting a degree here, degree here. Now I failed the PhD program or this program or law school. I didn't pass the bar. Now I'm going to shoot up everybody. Or go make up some lies. Such as, I've been kidnapped. So see, we really don't know why she did it. It's an assumption it's a guy. That it's always about a guy. Sometimes it's not about a guy. It's just what we are perceiving, some of us. Excuse me. What's the motivation? What's the motive for this crime, Carlee? How do you feel now, Carlee? What is your next move, Carlee Russell? You're going to try to finish school? Are you going to even be allowed into a school program? Because I don't know who would want to accept your funds now. Because you bring a bad name to a program, master's program, doctorate program. But maybe in time, somebody will accept her in a program if indeed she did fail this nursing program. I'm not sure. That's why I said I need a receipt. She failed this nursing course. And I need a receipt that she was at the Red Roof Inn. Because if indeed she was at the Red Roof Inn and her parents or any other entity went and picked her up, then that means other people are involved in the hoax. Point blank. She needs to be very careful because some people are really upset with her, aren't as forgiving. Yes, and that's the point I made earlier, that she may find herself at the end of a fist, a fight. She's out partying like those heathens from the Shanquella Robinson story. They out partying months later, and somebody decides to give them the business in a parking lot in North Carolina. You've killed your friend. Now you out partying, looking cute in your little outfits. Not tonight, boo-boo. It's possible what's going to happen to her. When she least expects, she's going to be somewhere, and somebody's going to give her the business. Hey, Carlee, look at you looking cute with your little lace front, and snatch that motherfucker right off her head. Excuse my language. And someone is saying on WFLA, I honestly can't wait to not hear about this girl again. Well, you're going to hear about her because usually these type of people, you do hear crazy stories about them. When the story starts to die down, that's when you hear something else about her. And I'm telling you, she's going to be pregnant next. Watch what I tell you. This is how it's going to go. She's going to either have a boyfriend and a baby in her stomach, or she's selling her story to Lifetime, Netflix, Oxygen. It's going to be something. But they're going to try to get some money off of this, she and her parents. Because guess what? Mommy and daddy probably done told her, oh, we need a payback for this. Lawyer fees, honey. Because lawyers cost everybody. And you know, the lawyer must look dapper in front of the news cameras. I don't condone violence, but those friends deserve getting the business. Yes, they do. They do deserve. Hello? You're on, Jenny. Jenny, you're on. Hello? She's not saying anything. Hello? Hello? Is nobody can hear me? What's going on? Jenny, you can't hear? Can everybody hear me in the audience? Say yes or no. Because I don't understand what's going on here. You have to turn your mic on, dear. Turn your volume up. Because my volume is up. Hello, Nubian. How are you? Nubian says yes. You all can hear me. So I don't understand what's going on with Jenny. Well, if you want to come up and give a brief commentary on Carlee Russell, feel free. Because I'm not trying to hold this live long. It's a beautiful day. I want to get out just for a minute. It's very hot here in the high 10. That's the said information. Just scroll back up and hit the link. Somebody's asking JB, do you think she'll ever speak publicly? I think he's saying he can't answer that. Will she speak publicly? Will the parents speak publicly? Will she speak publicly and apologize publicly? Will she also try to get monies from this crime? Was that also one of the reasonings for this crime? To later down the road get money. Somebody will pay me. Somebody will pay me for my story, the rights to a book, or rights to a play, or rights to something. Do you all understand what I'm saying? Did she forfeit her livelihood for the moment, her reputation, just to get monies down the road? Did that ever occur to anybody? What if we find out she decides to come forward and tell the whole truth why she did it? And it ain't about no boy. It ain't about that boyfriend. It ain't about that. It ain't about failing no course. I did it because I wanted to get some money down the road. But most people would be a fool to admit that. Oh, I did it because I want to get paid. I want to get some money. Now, somebody's saying on the channel, I hope they name the law Carlee Russell Hoax Law. That's funny. Yeah, there should be a Carlee Russell Hoax Law. We find out that you have lied in filing a report against a person for anything. I don't give a damn what it's for. Kidnapping, assault, whatever. You need to get automatic jail time. This was, see, you can weigh the law either or. People commit crimes every day and they learn nothing from it because they're empty inside. They don't care. Just like people talk about the death penalty. We can cry and moan that we want to have the death penalty for criminals. But what you need to also understand is that a lot of people don't give a you-know-what about the death penalty, jail, prison, because why keep doing these crimes knowing that's the chance you're going to go to prison? You may get the death penalty for a heinous crime. So even though the death penalty is on the books in certain places, it's not deterring people from committing crimes. That's obvious. In this case, it's of a misdemeanor nature, but it doesn't mean it's going to stop somebody from doing it if they give her jail time. Somebody's still crazy enough to say, well, I'm still going to do it any damn way. So that's the whole point of the justice system. There are laws, there are ramifications, but if I don't care, it doesn't matter. I will take the risk. Somebody's sitting there saying no remorse, flabbergasted, no remorse for her child. I think they're getting confused because there was never a child. That's the point of this story. Is that one, we don't know her. We don't know the motive and the reasoning for this crime. We don't know if she'll change. Some of you can hope and pray. That is your choice. I feel neither. If Carlee decides to go out here and do this again, that will be on her. If it never learns anything, that's on her. If she never has remorse, that's on her. That's between her and her maker. I'm not God. I'm not her family. And the one thing I've learned about dealing with people personally, let them do whatever they want to do. They want to be assholes, let them. You don't have to deal with them. That's what you have to learn from the story. You don't have to engage. You don't have to be a party to the bullshit. And to keep yourself from getting wound up, stressed out, stroked out over other people's behavior and actions, don't engage. You hear the news, keep it moving. Because a lot of times the things that people do, yes, is for a reaction. Yes, to get sympathy. GoFundMe money, help, whatever. It's up to you if you want to engage or not. You don't have to engage. You don't have to be a listening ear. You don't have to be a shoulder, and you don't have to be a pocketbook for them to dig in. That's on you. Someone asked about the income. Have they lost? Well, $2,000 isn't any money when you're well off. And as I said before in my commentary pertaining to this story, your idealism of well off, it may not be somebody else's idea of well off. What do you consider well off? $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year, $100,000 a year. $100,000 is nothing in most states. It has been said that in order to survive in Atlanta, Georgia, you need to be making about what? About $114,000 or more a year to live comfortably. That's because the rent's so high. Right. As I said before, her parents might be able to pay the mortgage, pay for car notes, this and that, food, groceries, but they may not have enough for a high bond. Well, as you see, her bond wasn't that high. What's $2,000? That's 10% of what? You all do math. You're talking about a low bond. $2,000. So what you talking about? $12,000 is nothing. Or $20,000, whatever the number is, it ain't no money. That's my point. So she turned herself in, bonded out, and now she's free. We'll wait to see what the judge's rendering will be for her punishment. Should she go to jail? If so, how long? Fees, fines, restitution to all agencies. How much should she have to pay back? Community service, probation. How much probation? 1 year, 2 years, 8 years? I think she needs to be on probation for about 10 years because of the severity of the crime. Because she took away resources for people who are actually missing and possibly dead out there. Stay woke now. Will the parents lose their jobs? Would you want them working for you? Well, in order to say that, you have to know that the parents were involved in the hoax. So you have to have proof. They will still be able to go out here and work. And they can sue their companies for firing them without probable cause. So you can't just go fire somebody because their daughter lied. Somebody says she's an attention seeker, wants to be famous. That's why she don't care about nobody but herself and thinks it's a game. Possibly. But that's why I said the fact that she researched, went ahead and did it anyway, never came forward and told the truth until police said we can't verify the baby. That's when we go hire a lawyer and then get this statement. That shows me she doesn't have any empathy. She didn't have any empathy in the first place when she exacted the crime. She never came forward to go ahead and say, yeah, I better go and tell the truth. She had no other option but to say, I did it. Because once they gave the press conference, we can't verify a child, abductors. She was left with her foot in the trap. Well, mom and daddy, I did it, blah, blah, blah. I need a lawyer. But I'd like to know what was the conversation between the parents and she. Well, why'd you do it? Why you do this? You costing us money. Da, da, da. What's wrong with you? Are you crazy? You this? Or were they just lovey-dovey? Oh, it's okay. Oh, we understand. You're going through a lot. So was she going through something mentally? Was she acting out, talking crazy, acting crazy? One thing begat another. What are we saying here? Was she a spoiled brat? Is she a spoiled brat? Has she been in trouble before, lied before, caught in lies? Has she committed other theft thievery, connery. Are the parents con artists, thieves, deceitful? Apple fell from the tree? What are we talking about here? See, 1,000 questions you can ask all damn day long. She has a brother. What type of brother is he? What type of family does she come from? What type of parents does she have? Good parents, Christians, go to church every Sunday, tithe, do the right thing, work in the community. Are they easy to get along with? Are any of them pathological liars? See, you can ask 1,000 questions. Her friends, what type of friends does she have? Are they the same? Thievery, con artists, scammers. You hear when she talks on the 911, she talks very proper English. It's not to say that black people don't know damn English, but you understand what I'm saying. She sounds very proper. She's a proper scam artist. Shut your mouth. A lot of jokes about her. Let's go into this YouTube queue and pull up some of the jokes that we've seen about Carlee Russell. We already got a YouTube challenge that's led 11-year-old to exact a crime, which is not funny at all. Not funny at all. I found something in the queue I wanted to pull up. It was a joke, and I wanted to watch it. Let me see if I can find it. God forgive me. Let's see. See if I can find it. I can't see her. One second, you guys. Here's a short in the YouTube queue. When your aunties find out you're traveling, no, that's not it. I don't know why I can't find it for some reason. Hold on, you guys. Oh, Lord. They got so many of these shorts in here. I can't find the one I'm looking for. And it was just in the queue. Well, it was a short I wanted to show. Because I can't find it now. Well, they're going to be jokes about her. Because that's just what people do. She shouldn't have done it. Some ladies got something here about Carlee Russell auntie speak and tell it all. Let me see what this is about. What this lady has to say. This is uploaded 7 days ago. YouTube Q.
I'm gonna call you right back, baby. I'm gonna call you right back. Hello? I'm gonna call you right back. Put it down, you can't be holding it like that.
Oh Lord, talk already. Like she's gonna start talking.
Good, everybody.
She don't look like she want to talk. I don't know what's the hell going on here.
I'm on TikTok, but I don't like to be over there. But yeah. All we can do is pray. I already told y'all, pray for people. That's all we can do. I know a lot of y'all, some of y'all feel down. Some of y'all feel like, you know, it is what it is, like I feel. It is what it is. I'm gonna tell you like this though. I'm police. They gonna find out stuff. I tell you, technology is good. All I can say, I wish, you know, you can tell my girl, she gotta learn. See, she ain't never did no crimes. You know, Carlee ain't never been no trouble like that. Carlee don't know how to get away with stuff. Baby, Carlee would have knew me. Carlee, you wouldn't have had to do all that, baby. Come on over here and do what you gonna do, Carlee. Get your whole bag. I would have packed my bag in front of everybody. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Oh my God, I'm dead.
But I don't know what my niece is going through. My niece was looking up stuff. My niece was looking up stuff, y'all. My niece was ready to get the hell on, honey. These you could have called Auntie and I would have told you how to get away. You know, you could have helped you out. You know, you looking up all this, taking it. That ain't how you do it, baby. You just, all you had to do, whatever the plan was, Nee, just pack your whole bag and go.
I don't know who this lady is. Is this a comedian or what? I just found it in the queue.
25 years old. Now you don't put yourself in something that's gonna be hard to get out of, baby.
Cause I can't see her aunt telling her to do that.
You know, I would have packed my stuff in front of my mama there. I don't know, you know, and I know a lot of parents be ashamed, you know, they don't want that on them because it's their child, but baby, sometimes the best way I would have did that for my child would have played like, baby, my child is insanity, something wrong. If you gonna make, instead of making a fool and helping them, she was taking, baby, we're gonna get this story together, baby, because you could have go to jail. You better tell the bitch you have schizophrenic and you seeing stuff and all that, honey. You better get right, Carlee. You eat your dookie. And you gonna do that much time, Carlee, you know, but it's just hard. A lot of people gonna look at you different. Then you got some people that ain't gonna judge at all. But you gotta definitely plan stuff right, baby. All that cash register, Carlee, you could have would have sold some of that coochie.
Oh my God,
I ain't gonna rob nobody. I'd rather get his coochie up and make me a couple of dollars.
I'm gonna stop that right there. That's a bit too much. I was looking for something else. I wasn't into that. I don't know who this lady is, if this is really her auntie or not, but I ain't getting ready to get into all that old type of foolishness. That I'm not. I ain't going down that rabbit hole. I was trying to find this little short, but I can't find it for some reason. telling her say she crazy because it runs in her family. Well, that's why I said somebody will give us some advice. That's what they tell you when you go to court to play crazy. I thought y'all knew that. You go in and act like you're crazy, fall out, pass out, do all kind of crazy nonsense. Hold on a minute, I'm still looking. I can't believe I can't find it. God, I hate that. Oh, I'm gonna hit shorts. It may excuse me. Oh, I can go in the shorts and just put Carlee Russell, and then that may pull up some. Oh yeah, she had a little black dress on, zip up the back. They showing it, but they done filmed her. Got a little hair laid. She was trying to look cute going into the lawyer's office. Lord have mercy. Let me see this.
Hey, I'm gonna go see my man. Okay, all you gotta do is sit right there. Hold on. Oh, it's a baby outside. Look at your baby. It's a baby. I'm gonna go get some kids to my man.
That's a bad short right there. Showing a guy with a wig on and a baby sitting in a carrier on the interstate. Lord have mercy, I'm dead. I'm trying to find the one that's got her. Let me see this one.
Damn. All right, go ahead, man. So how did you guys feel when she finally showed back up? Honestly, I didn't give a damn. I knew what she was.
Yeah, I was lost. Mixed feelings.
So did you guys hug or embrace her or anything like that? To be honest with you, hell no. I didn't know the motherfucker had a yeast infection, staph infection, hell, a cheese infection.
Oh my God.
So how do you guys feel about the whole?
Oh my God, I can't. This is crazy.
Fuck with you guys.
I need you to get off the phone.
Hold on a minute. That's a bad one. Oh Lord help me. He got them eating cheeses or something in the box. Dear God. Why I can't find. I couldn't find what I was looking for. A lot of Carlee Russell commentary. Single act done by herself. Oh, here it is right here. When your auntie found out Carlee Russell lied, I wanted to be waiting to see these here though.
Hey, babe. What's going on, fam? I ain't doing a gossip. And what? And don't tell nobody I told you this. What did happen, girl? You ain't heard? Heard what? Damn, Fanny said. She lied, girl. Who lied, Fanny? Think about it, Louise. She lied, girl. Who? Carlee damn Russell. Damn Carlee Russell. You found out? See, that's why y'all ass need to learn how to turn that TV on and stop scrolling through damn TikTok all goddamn night. That's your problem. Oh, whatever. But girl, come and find out. What? They said she ain't get kidnapped. Shut the hell up. They say there was no baby. You was damn lying. They say nobody was involved. What? It was just her crazy ass. Girl, hush your damn mouth. Baby, I ain't lying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. And I ain't got no damn wings. They just had a press conference at 4 p.m. Is it still on or are you still watching it? Girl, I turned that shit off. Girl, why you turn it off? Because baby, I already knew. I told your ass, but you ain't want to listen. Well, I thought this shit was true. Girl, that shit was fake from the damn beginning. Ooh, child. But you know what I think? What, child? I think that damn camera that was up there in that damn sky touching the damn sun. Not the sun. She ain't know that motherfucker was right there.
Not the sun.
Oh, that camera sent her ass right on back home, baby. With them damn cheeses. Hey, baby. What's going on, baby? I ain't the one to gossip. And don't tell nobody I told you.
It's not funny, but it is funny. Because guess what? She doesn't care, probably. Let me see what this says here.
I ain't saying it was a kidnapping, I know. Hear me out.
This is somebody else.
I'm gonna go to jail, ain't it? I know it. Listen, real quick. What kind of snacks they be having in here? That's important.
Excuse me.
Okay, I know y'all been waiting on me.
Allergies.
I ain't saying it was a kidnapping. I know. Hear me out. I'm gonna go to jail, ain't it? I know it. Listen, real quick. What kind of snacks they be having in here?
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's horrible. That's another lady. It's sad when you have to make jokes. You don't have to make jokes, but excuse me, naturally comedians will poke fun at anybody that breaks the law. This is what people do. Let me see what this guy got going on.
Yes, it's a toddler out here on the freeway. Is there any way you can send anybody? Because I'm scared for her. Please, somebody come help. Hey, yeah, I called him. Can you see my hazard lights? Yeah, I'm right here. Look, I don't know how long it's gonna take for them to get here, so don't be asking all these damn questions. Just make sure you're right there when I get there, goddamn. Because I'm right here on I-459. It ain't gonna take them that long to get here. So just make sure you're right there. Are you coming? Yeah, I'm putting a wig on my seat right now. Just hold on. I gotta make sure like something happen. Shit.
I'm saying, you know it ain't gonna take them long to get to they right around the damn corner trace and shit.
Hold on, can't forget my damn phone. Hold on.
Did you get my snacks and shit?
Yes, I got your damn snacks. Now chill out. Shit. Here I come.
Hey,
What?
have you checked the internet lately?
No, what's wrong?
Check your Facebook page.
They got a camera up there?
Apparently they fucking do.
Shit, I got to go home.
Hold on, let me get a quickie before you leave.
I got to go home. Yes, it's a toddler out here on the freeway. Is there any way you can
Excuse me. See, it's bad enough you ruin your reputation, if whatever type of reputation you're trying to have, I don't know. Your livelihood for the moment. But now the people making jokes about you in shorts on YouTube, Carlee Russell. But that's the point of this story, is that we don't know you. We don't know much about you. But what we do know about you is that you can lie. And maybe you don't care. Because like I said, in order to exact this crime, you showed you didn't care at that time. Can she be redeemed? Can she change? Of course. But that will all fall on her. I frankly don't care what she does, because my thing is I don't know her. She's not a friend of mine. She's not a family member, and I don't have anything invested in her. And that's how I look at people like her. Like I said, we're all flawed. We all make mistakes. It's up to her. She wants to change her life and be a better person. It's all on her. I think the worst part of this story would be down the road when she decides to date, marry, have children. What type of role model would she be for a child? Because if you can, as I said, lie at this age, 9 times out of 10, you've been lying for a long time. And usually lying starts at childhood, adolescence. What will you teach your child? Will you teach your child when things don't go right, just lie. Make up something. Or as you all heard Auntie say, play crazy. We all crazy, so play crazy when you go to court. That's why a lot of people act the way they act, because of how they were raised and what they were taught as children and what they saw. And usually you emulate what you see. Not always, but sometimes people emulate what they see. You emulate how you were raised. You emulate what went on in your household. You emulate what's in the neighborhood, what you see the other people doing. People pass the information along. Hey, do this, do this. It's known. That's why children are so grown. I came across a 2-year-old the other day that I thought was about 4. And I listened at the way she talked. You know, telling the grandparent, great-grandparent, no, stop, don't do this. The little girl was grown. And I said to myself, well, she knows to say these things because she's been in a household where people, you know, naturally talk out things, situations. And she responds. But she was savvy for 2. I mean, she was quite grown. And I was like, dang. So then I tried to imagine her older. I didn't want to do that. Because if I'm looking at her at 2 and thought she was older than 2, that should tell you something right there. She was something else already. And as I brought you commentary the other day, children start lying at the age of 3 advanced by the age of 6. And what you have to pray is that the tall tales, the imaginary friends, the wild imagination does not become a propensity to lie. Because this is how it starts. Tall tales, fables, make-believe. The next thing you know, they're 10 and they're 12 and they're still making up stuff. And you're saying, no, you know that's not true. You know that never happened. Yes, it did. And now you're sitting here arguing with a 10-year-old about make-believe. And then they're older than 10, and it's not make-believe anymore. It's not a fable anymore. It's not funny and cute anymore. It's an outright lie. Well, she's already out of jail. Let me make that clear to you all in the chat. She is not in jail. She's already out. She's already been released. She made the bond. That's the whole point of having the lawyer see. The lawyer is the one who talks to the district attorney and the police. He gets the information. That's why he gave that brief statement the other day, because he knew charges were coming. They notified him. That was the whole purpose of hiring him. So he could do the navigating so she could get in and get out. She had already paid her money. Baby girl free. She was free when the press conference rolled. Yeah, she's free. Been free. So that's the joy of having an attorney. Your attorney gets all the information from the district attorney, the DA, the whomever, attorney general, and they go meet, set up the time for you to meet, show up, take your photograph, blah, blah, blah. Come on out. They already got the bondsman there, the money. See, regular people, Because see, if you don't even know you're getting arrested, you got to get arrested, then go call somebody to tell them you locked up. Then they got to go call the bondsman, or you call with your free call from jail, the bondsman on the wall, and you go from there. When you already know you're getting ready to get arrested, you got everything lined up to where you just go in, take the mug shot, pay the bond, boom, you out. Story's over with. And if indeed they had parties a week or so ago in Georgia and back at home, because I don't know how true all that is. They said they saw people coming and going at the house after the parents returned from Georgia. I'm assuming she went with them. I'm not really sure all this information. And this is secondhand from another network. The point is that shows behavior that's not good either. And maybe that was a party to say, well, we don't know if they'll let her stay in jail or not give her a bond. So let's go on and have a get together just in case they won't give her a bond. Did that occur to any of you? They had that gathering, if it's true, because they didn't know if the DA or whoever did, or the attorney general was going to say, don't give her no bond. But we know they're misdemeanors, so they had to give her a bond. That's the law, not felonies. And even with felonies, you can still have a bond. All that's determined from the judge. So we're going to ask these questions, and I'm going to check out of here. How long did she plan the crime? Did she have help on the other side of those trees? Who helped her? Where did she stay? Does she have remorse? Are her parents involved? That's my set information. I will bring you an update pertaining to this. And I also will bring you some more information pertaining to a woman missing out of North Carolina when I get time. Thank you for following this network. If you'd like to donate, $BeganJu 129 Cash App. Stickers and chat to welcome during the live stream. Thank you for the support of this network. Once again, have a happy weekend. Stay hydrated. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. Do yourself a favor. Help preserve a life. Anaya Blanchard was violently kidnapped and murdered a few years ago, and people saw her being manhandled by Mr. Yazid in the parking lot that night. Had someone called 911, she would possibly be alive today. That's my message to you. Help preserve a living life. Be it a child or an adult. Don't consider it a snitch. You're a snitch. Because if it was you, you want someone to help you in a dire situation. And frankly, you shouldn't have to put the shoe on the other foot to have empathy. Will Carlee Russell get jail time? Or will she just get community service, probation, have to pay back monies to law enforcement? Fines, fees. We will see. Thank you for joining me. You've been listening to The Vault. Exhale.